Good evening, everyone. This is Gil at Camp Hatton Family Compound. With me tonight, I got Tammy from Rebel Canners and Mark from Chef Tech. And it is the Monday Night Fireside Chat. And tonight's chat's topic is best ways to store your harvest, part 2, because we did part 1 back in October, I believe. And so here we are. And let me go to the site chat here and go up, make sure I caught everybody. Nope, I've missed some people, so let me say hi to them. All right, first one in was Crew 1351, then Geeky Gardens, then Kalen Strains, followed by Shady Hill Homestead, both sides. Let's go on down here. Let's see, Diana's in here. And Diana went to both sides as well. And of course, plug your ears. It's CB at Hugo Homestead. All righty. And also we got Prepper 101 in the house. And everybody's chit-chatting back and forth there. All righty. So, I almost forgot. I got to get over. I got to bring something up. I got to put something in the chat here for everyone to sort of to look at afterwards. Okay, so give me a second to get that out of the way and bring that up again. Dang it, up there. Yeah, I found I had to set up and it went away. Dang it. All right. There it's called 25 Lost Food Preservation Secrets that fed families all winter without a fridge. And can I get this up here? Make sure this goes up into the link here. There it is.
Do you keep freezing up, or is my computer acting up?
I don't know. I've been looking elsewhere, so I might have been freezing up there for a minute.
You, Mark, because I haven't seen him freeze.
Okay, it's all me.
All right, so I got that up there. Yeah.
Just ask my wife. It's my fault.
So that link I just threw in there, guys, open it in a separate tab if you can. Save it. Look at it later. But it is informative, although they kind of it's about 20 minutes long, and they showed several things, but they were still talking about the one, and it's like, come on, talk about these others you just showed. But anyways, you'll get the idea when you look at it what everything is. Actually, some good ideas on there. Ooh, not good. Until 7:30. Ouch. All righty. So let me get that down out of the way. There we go. All right. There is a lot of, we've talked about a lot of ways to store your food here. But jumping back to that, like that reel I posted there, about 25 ways that aren't being done generally like they used to be done practically in 90% of all the houses. Even in the cities, they used to do this stuff. And make sure my things play. I'm getting a little bit of feedback static. Anyways,
my fan. Can you hear my fan?
Your fan is fine, but I'm getting a little. It's like I say something, and then I get a little bit of static for a second. An echo thing. But I was double checking because I got my earbud in, and so I'm not sure what's going on with the system tonight.
I'm not hearing it.
Okay. I just must be hearing the echo back on my earbud here. So now I could just pop it out and it wouldn't bother me, but then I couldn't hear you guys. All right. So let's see what I get here. What was I at? So, and it's interesting. They start that video off with, before there was freeze drying, before there was vacuum sealing, and even before they were doing canning, there was, and he went through 25 things, barrels of salt pork, making carrots, and making a box, putting box in the cellar for a square box and putting a layer of sand in, laying carrots, layer of sand, carrots, layer of sand, carrots, so that none of them are touching.
And I liked how he said you had to have an inch of carrot, but an inch of sand in every direction around the carrot.
Yeah.
So he was very specific, which was nice because a lot of times you don't get very good directions with those.
Yeah.
Pretty.
And Truth, Goodness, Beauty is here.
Hi.
Oh, she says she's here in the now and then, so don't know what's up. Sorry, apologies for that. Technology sucks sometimes. It's great, but sometimes it sucks. And going through that was there was a lot of interesting stuff. And the things they pointed out in this video on YouTube, on Facebook reel that I posted there. And let me go over here. Yes, I can. I'm gonna pin that to the top. So it's at the top now. It's pinned, so everybody can find it easily. Some of the things they went through and talked about how in 1941 or 39, around the beginning of World War II, it was prevalent everywhere. And then during World War II, there was the big push: grow a victory garden. Store your own stuff. And then grocery stores became more centralized. Refrigeration came into grocery stores. Refrigeration came in the house, and manufacturers saying, why should, they should be doing it our way. And there was a big, a little bit of political, but there was a big propaganda push to stop doing it yourself and let the big commercial guys do it because they can do it better.
Yes.
Yeah, why are you home preserving? I mean, you can just go to the store and buy it. We got it ready to go in so many different flavors. And there's my dog squeaking his ball.
Yeah.
Because sometimes food from the store really tastes bad. My daughter gave me a popsicle, and it was all natural, organic, kids popsicle. It was so bad. So bad.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like a smoothie in a popsicle form, and it was
it's made with 100% fruit juice. They don't tell you what fruits and where they came from, but
it was blueberry, vanilla, water, lemon juice, and something else. But it was so bad, it was bad. Like it did not taste. It tasted like the blueberries hadn't ripened a couple weeks before they picked them.
Yeah,
well, that's usually how that works. They pick them early, that way they ripen. They have no flavor, but they're blue and they look pretty.
They didn't ripen them. They just tasted like you picked them 2 weeks too early. It was bad.
I went to get something for Eli, because he with his limited palate choice, and trying to get something that doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it, or even just corn syrup. And I found something that looked good. I got two flavors. I got watermelon and I got strawberry, and he likes both those. However, he took one lick of the watermelon one and handed it to his mom.
Yeah.
And she said it tasted sort of like, it didn't taste like watermelon. It tasted like something else that was a little, I don't know. She said, she goes, I could stand it, but it's not watermelon, and it wasn't what I was expecting. But now two of his brothers, they loved it and they snarfed it and they killed the rest of the box off.
Yeah.
Then the watermelon, then the strawberry one, I pulled one out for him. He ate about an eighth of it before he laid it on a plate on a table and got distracted, squirrel, and went off and started doing something else. And so I found it before it melted too bad, rinsed it off a little bit, put it in a Ziploc bag, and squeezed all the air out of it and put it in the freezer, and it's waiting for him to try again.
Yeah, sometimes that's what you got to do.
Yeah. However, I know that Danny will be more than happy to go ahead and finish it for him. Because
Yes.
he went in and broke into and snuck into the freezer when he got up early one morning and go, "Oh, I want to try one of these." Yeah. But going back to the some of the stuff that used to I hate this stuff when this pulls up. Okay. Some of the ways things used to be done. And I was trying to find some good pictures, like I got in here an old root cellar with all the shelves loaded with stuff here and some hanging meat there. And down below, got another one, got hanging meat over here under me and some cheeses and stuff over under Tammy there and some wines right down here, down in the root cellar. And Prepper Girl is here. Welcome. Shalom. And so I was looking for some photos, these photos to do it, and I found this thing. If you can't see it, can't make out what it is a treasure trove in someone's basement or cellar. You can see the roof, the floor joists above it, where it's got the old
hand-hewn beams. Yeah,
but they got the pin and tube wiring going through those beams.
Knob and tube wiring. Yep.
Yeah, knob and tube. And but the jars, I'm looking at those jars, and there's a bunch that are no lids on them on their sides. There's a bunch that are totally full. And the upper right is it's kind of dark on this screen, but over here on this one, it looks like black beans in those jars.
I'd be kind of scared to open any of those at this point with the amount of dust and dirt and falling over. And,
yeah. But some of those jars on the right are heavy duty glass jars, the rubber gasket and the glass lid and the lockdown on
like
top
I got.
of it. Yeah. And then there's some there's a bunch of them over the kidney beans, at least I think they're kidney beans, the one straight even with Tammy's name on the middle shelf there, first one. That here on my TV, that looks like my big one here. That looks like kidney beans in there, but could be wrong. But I'm just looking at all of these different type jars and stuff, wide mouths, regulars, smaller ones, and just all the different jars there. And I just made me think of all the ones of people that started, we're just going to go to the grocery store now. We're not going to do the garden in the backyard. We're not going to do, and things, and society changed.
Yep.
How many basements across the United States are loaded like this with jars you can no longer get that are 3 times as thick and as safe as the current ones you buy from the proper.
And how many millions of those jars were cleaned out when the parents died, and the kids are like, they just called somebody and said, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
So all those good jars wound up in a landfill somewhere.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and pull back from that to us. There we go. And I'm going to get rid of that there. And escape, get that down, drop that down.
Yeah, I was just eating dinner. That was my last year before's harvest from my tomatoes. Made meat sauce and just had pasta. That was my dinner. It's great walking downstairs, going, "Oh, for dinner. Oh, look, I have pasta here. Oh, look, I have meat sauce. I have regular tomato sauce. I got meat sauce with turkey sauce, meat sauce, different meats and stuff." It's like, yeah, I think I'll just have this tonight. And then the wife's like, "Oh, can I have some?" It's like, "Sure." I go, "Can I have some of yours?" I'm like, "Sweetie, there's like 18 more jars down there. Take your pick."
Okay. So for the those that came in after I put it in, and CR is in the house. There, the link that's pinned at the top is this Facebook video, and the channel is Forgotten American Skills. Sounds appropriate. And I'm just going to kind of skip through it real quick here on some things here. And let's see. Okay, so it's 1943. They talk about it, and they talk about the everything that people were used to doing in their things there. All the skills are passed down from mother to daughter, and with sticky syrup. So let me see if I can find. Oh, here we go. Here's the carrots, potatoes, all the storing stuff in the basement. and talks about all the ways of doing it for the humidity for making sure you have humidity, and so do it. The old-fashioned ice chest. Talk about water glassing eggs. Move across here. See if I can find it. Coarse sea salt used for winterizing a lot of stuff. This one I thought was I'm gonna go come on, back up. Where is it? I mean, the refrigerator's getting ruined and stores ruined everything. And of course the stuff with the water glassing thing fell apart. Okay, pork salt and brimes, number 22. Where was the other one here? Dang, did I miss about? Okay, coming up on it here. All right. So talk about the pork. Things have been done for thousands of years with the pork and stuff. All right, here we go. Let's pause that. So they're going to show about. They talk about how you take the string beans and you dry them and preserve them, and so they look like that when they're done. But then when you go to use them, you rehydrate them and use them in with salt pork with it, and it comes out tasting a unique taste that most of us have never tasted, and goes through all the different things, all the different meals. Yes.
You can make those Dutchman breeches, green beans, in your car dehydrator. You just string them and dry them, and yes, I have done that in my car. Just want to throw that out there. You don't need a fancy dehydrator. And 100 degrees today in the shade dried a lot of stuff really fast.
Yeah. This one was interesting. Number 20 on their list, sugaring fruit. This was before canning jars. And so you get the fruit and then, lay it all out and, cover it with sugar and stuff, and over the sugar. And then, and the sugar would draw all the moisture out. And so you had sort of dehydrated fruit, and you had a syrupy sugar sweet top for
good stuff.
Yes. And so
you don't have to do that with just fruit. You can do that with like spruce tips.
Yeah.
And things you foraged as well.
Yeah. And so going on. So this is only 5 minutes into this video, which is 23 and a half minutes. But so I put it up there for everybody. It's for your edification. If you'd like the video, go ahead and like and follow that Forgotten American Skills, because they got a bunch of other videos out there as well. And I just wanted to, there are ways to do the food preservation here. All this stuff and all this stuff here. Ooh, is that a wine? What is that barrel back there? I wonder if that's a pickling barrel.
Why is my camera acting up?
Yeah. So there's a lot of information out there on doing it the old school way, the way my great grandmother used to do it before she got her first canning jar.
So you got a 55-gallon drum of pickled cabbage heads back there? Because they would pickle them whole.
Don't forget fermented garlic and honey. It finally sank.
Oh,
it is.
It's ready.
Oh yeah. You open it, has its. Oh, I've never smelled it before. I mean, until I started making it, and the odor is like, wow. And I took a spoonful. The flavor does not taste like it smells.
Mm-mm.
And I haven't tried a piece of garlic yet. That's on my agenda list. I got 2 pint jars I made, and they're in the fridge now.
They've mellowed. There's all that bite to the garlic is gone. You can put it on a salad, and it's going to taste divine.
Yeah, that's what I told the wife. I was like, you can take the garlic and you can mince it up and throw it in your salad or cook it if you want to. But
yeah,
you can eat the cloves whole, and it has no bite.
Yeah,
yeah.
And all the allopathic properties are so good for you.
I got a kraut crock that I got to experiment with, and the first batch didn't do too well. But I didn't expect the first batch to be perfect. But yeah, it's a process. Some of the stuff is going to be a process. Yes, you're going to experiment. You're going to have successes. You're going to have failures. So you'll learn just right to do it right and have a lot of successes.
Yeah, I have a kraut crock that is almost the size of a 55-gallon barrel. Almost. It's just not as tall.
Yeah. Oh,
like 40-gallon or something like that.
Yeah. I forget. Was it Tuesday? Or was it? Someone was asking about stills. Either maybe it was last Friday or something. They were on one of the live streams. They were asking about stills. Can you still water? I saw a video from a company in Georgia that makes stills. And these are huge stills. And they walked around. These are all brass stills. You got the big one. Then you got the next middle one, which is still about a 30-gallon barrel.
Yeah.
Then you got the other, and the tubing and everything else. And it's like, I would get in so much trouble.
I don't think they use those for distilling. I don't think they use those for distilling water. But
no.
Yes,
but,
they do, Mark. That's exactly what it's for. And legally, you can do up to 4 gallons of your own anything you want in Michigan without penalty. It's once you get over a certain amount of gallons, then you're in trouble. But I went to a garage sale and bought a copper coil for very cheap. And the guy was laughing at me and he goes, "Do you know what that's for?" And I said, "Oh, yes, I do."
Yeah.
Well, if you need more, call me.
Okay. I've never put it together with anything else. I just have the big, huge copper coil.
Right.
But I was just laughing because I got it for like $5. The value of the copper was way over that.
Yeah.
But
I was going to say, you're lucky somebody didn't snap it up, just take it to the junkyard.
Again, I have it to distill water if the mood shall hit me.
Yeah.
Or to make a hillbilly hot tub.
Yeah.
Whatever comes first.
Yeah. And of course, there's something came out today, and I did a little digging quick on it and fired back on the comments. Nobody has made any comments on my comment or thumbs up or thumbs down on it. But the one was saying, the one lady saying, you got to be careful what you're believing, because this just came out that there were 11 cases of, and I can't remember.
I just read that. I just read it right before this. Campylobacter and I can't think of the other bacteria, but they came from they bought raw milk from 3 different dairies, so they didn't even get it from the same dairy, and nobody else that got it from those dairies got it. And it's also very common to get Campylobacter, because I just researched this because I happen to know 2 people here in Michigan who have got it, who did not drink raw milk. And one got it from their duck pond splashing them in the mouth, and the other one thinks he got it from bad chicken at a local restaurant. But there's so many the water right now with the waterfowl in it, you could get Campylobacter really easily in your mouth if you get it in your mouth.
They were saying
don't swim in a duck pond.
Yeah, they said just
there's a reason.
In the lakes and streams and stuff. It's a common, lots of cases every year they get it, but they asked, I don't know what the doctor was asking questions. Do you drink raw milk? But they are. And they say, there's 11 cases of drinking raw milk. Well, I checked with my friend of mine at DHS, and he said, yeah, we've heard all about that. CDC is under directions of somebody we shall not mention, who has a plastic face, is suppressing the full report, which has over 280 some odd of ones who do not drink raw milk that have the exact same thing.
Raw
milk. Gotta peg it on raw milk.
Hang on a second. I have to get this out there. raw milk has such healing properties and healing a lot of what's going around right now from a certain pesticide. And it can really do very good work. So there is, of course, a movement to suppress it. As
Of
Yeah.
course there is. If it works,
biggest
get rid of
movement
it.
is to get a hold of it. I can
Yeah.
only tell you from my personal experience. I cannot tell you from my medical experience, which I have
Yeah.
both, so I can say whatever I want here and I can produce a license to prove it. But I know from my personal experience, drinking raw milk has really, really helped my gut.
Yeah.
I'm very careful where I get it from, but it has really improved my gut health.
I know a couple of friends of one of my kids. They started drinking. They were lactose intolerant out of nowhere, but they were drinking milk all their life. All of a sudden, they became lactose intolerant. Well, their mom gave them raw milk, and it took a little bit. But it took a little while, and then it kind of. I think it might have been A2, but that's besides the point. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. But I don't think the doctors were correct on their assumption. But whatever.
I have the symptoms of lactose intolerance. We won't go into what those are. Last year in May, I drank a quart of raw milk, and my symptoms went away for 9 months. This year in May, I drank it, and I can eat and drink milk products without having the symptoms of my lactose intolerance.
Yeah, probably refreshes some bacteria in your gut that can handle regular milk. But yeah.
Okay, so
Clabbered milk. I am not a clabbered milk fan.
I know neither am I, but they talk about all the benefits of it and stuff, and how when the dairies were forced to do their pasteurization and stuff, you can't make it from store-bought milk, only from raw milk. And they talk about all the different things that, clabbered milk and some other ones, and cheeses and cream, the sour milks, and how you do buttermilks and stuff like that. They talk about that stuff. So yeah, that's one of the things
and sour milk donuts. My mom had a recipe. You could only use raw milk. Oh my goodness, you cannot find them anywhere else. Half as good.
Would you have to let the milk go sour to use it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is clabbered milk.
Oh. Yeah. So yeah, there's and they talk a little bit about how to do it, but there's there are other videos out there probably on their channel and others talking about how the proper way to do sour milk and do it.
Clabbered milk is actually good and good for you. Sour milk is a nasty, vile, stinky thing that comes from pasteurized milk. They are not the same.
Yeah.
So, like, if you sit cow's milk on your counter for 3 days, you're not going to want to do anything with it.
Yeah.
If you do raw milk on your counter for 3 days, you get clabbered milk, and it's really good to make all sorts of products with. And it is not going to taste anything like what you think, because all you've had is sour milk.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna whip out my my ice cream machine this year, and my right up in PA, the store, they sell whole butter, like raw buttermilk and raw milk and all that other stuff. I don't know if they have heavy cream. They probably do, but there's another couple stores that will. Yeah. I may decide to make some real vanilla ice cream I have real vanilla beans, I have real sugar, and I can get raw milk or raw.
See, if you're getting raw whole milk that they haven't taken the cream off of, like the milk we buy in the store is only 4% milk and the rest is water.
Right.
So you're gonna get a better ice cream even if you have cream to do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know that, because if I forget about what I buy a half a gallon and I'll drink, a giant glass a day, and then I forget about it on the 4th day, and then that one winds up getting clumps on. I always shook it up before I before I poured it, but eventually it gets I get an odor. I'm like, yeah, no, I dump it in the mulch pile.
Then that's where it's clabbering.
Yeah, well, I don't like the smell.
Not pasteurized. Yeah, but clabbered milk is not like raw, like pasteurized.
So if I drank that, aside from the tartness or whatever, it's still good for me.
Yeah,
maybe. Okay.
Actually, yeah.
Your gut might start working better.
It'd be really good in baked goods instead of
instead of the mulch pile.
Yeah. So just so you know, it's really good in place of buttermilk and make donuts with it. Take that clabbered milk and make donuts. You will not regret it.
Yeah. And in that video, they also talked
about beating them all hand over fist.
They talk about making sour cream from raw milk as well, and stuff on that. Let's see.
And there's a difference between sour cream and cultured cream.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Let's see here. Talk about smoking meat, really smoking meat, not, you buy the smoked meat at the store. No, it's not smoked. It's got the smoke flavored stuff injected into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got liquid smokified.
Yeah. Yummy.
And then, of course, we've talked several times here about winter squash, storing winter squash. That's you can store just about a whole year in a cold basement.
Oh, the other one they did on that video that I had never heard of, but I thought it was really smart, was they took the pie crust, they'd make it once a week, and then they'd wipe it down with vinegar before wrapping it in waxed cloth. And I had never heard of that, but that is a great way to keep your pie crust fresh without refrigeration. They just put it in the ice box, so it was in basically a glorified cooler.
Yeah.
And that I thought that was really cool. Sorry.
When I heard that's great to bring out that. My grandmother had done that a couple times when I was a little kid, and before I turned 10, before I turned 9. I'm doing the math here. I was born in 57. We moved from my grandmother's house back down to Southern California in 66. So, but in that house that we lived in, there you had the kitchen sink, and you had a dish cupboard on the right side. You had a floor to ceiling cupboard on the left side. We called the cooler cupboard.
Yeah. Because
it had a screen. It had hardware cloth with a screen on the bottom for the bottom floor, and the same thing for the top floor, the top of it on the ceiling. So you'd get the heat would rise and draw the cool air up through it, and she'd keep that stuff in there where it was cooler than the rest of the house.
I want to make one of those in my cabin. I like that idea.
And it was really cool. And the way the shelves were done is the shelving did not go all the way to the back. It was about an inch from the back and about an inch from the front on all the shelves. So you had that air gap it would go around on. But yeah, I mean, that was just absolutely I just love that cupboard because we put stuff in there and it would it'd be cooler than the rest or anything else in the house. We did not put our jams and jellies once we opened them in the refrigerator. We stuck them in the cooler cupboard. Why? Because it was cool and it would last until, it would still. It was usually gone. A quart jar of blackberry jam usually was gone in about 3 weeks, anyways.
Probably didn't need any refrigeration or cooling.
Yeah, we moved into our house up in Jersey way back. We had the back door. You came in, and there was a chute coming out of the house. And there was a box right there. That's where the Iceman would deliver your ice. And it was a giant cooler. It had the galvanized sheet metal on top with the drains and the air gaps. And that was their refrigerator in the summertime. In the wintertime, you just opened the vent door where the ice came in and the outside air kept it cold.
Yep. Look at the comments here.
Gigi Gardner, my mom did that too. When we were really poor, and my dad was out of work and we were really poor. My mom would take and buy a half gallon or gallon of milk, save the old gallon jug anyway. And when we got down to about half a gallon, she'd mix up powdered milk and mix it with it and set it in the refrigerator overnight. You can't tell. My kids, I've done that to my kids too when I needed to stretch my grocery budget, and you can't tell. You really can't.
And if you like for the time I was from my junior year in high school up until 25, we had 2 cows. They were Guernsey Jersey mix, and on a gallon jug, we had a quart of heavy heavy whipping cream that after two or 3 days, you take it out, take the lid off, and I swear we could drop a quarter and it would go about a third of the way in and stop.
Yep.
And it stays and it's upright. It wouldn't go boom, it would go boom. But even after we skimmed that cream off to make ice cream this summer, we did a lot of freaking ice cream. The milk that was still 2 to 3 times as rich. Easily. That's what was in the store. It almost tasted like half and half from the store.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so we, since we had 2 cows, we were not short of having to stretch it. But my grandmother and my mom talked about during the Depression, they would get, a gallon of milk, take off the cream off of it, and put the cream in the fridge, drink the milk and stuff, then get the powdered milk out and mix it in with the cream and mix it up to make, nice rich milk, better than the milk, the pasteurized milk you could buy in the store.
Yeah.
All right. I heard a ping. What's the ping going on? I can't tell. I don't see it. Oh well. Anyways, Kaylin says my dad used to smoke a variety of meats. The smell of it was delicious, as was the finished product.
Oh yeah.
And Jack says my mom, expended. You pick, is still an expert at stretching the grocery budget. I pick her brains every summer. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom used to do that. She'd go to the one dairy. It was pasteurized, whatever, but she could get a half-gallon carton of milk for 19 cents back in the 70s, and she would come home with 30 of them, and they went right in the freezer. And she'd pull them out. You just had to, would separate out of them in the freezer. You just had to take them out and shake them up. A couple times I forgot to shake it up, poured it in my glass, and about barfed. I'm like, what's wrong with this? She's like, you forgot to shake it up. And I never really understood. I was young. Why do I have to shake the milk up? Never had to do that before. But yeah.
Because you were drinking cream, that's why.
Well, whatever. It was clumpy, and I was just like, nah.
Yeah. Hey, but I tell you, that stuff makes great ice cream. And if you follow some of the old recipes, it's just add a little. One of the old recipes my grandmother talked about was adding honey for the ice cream, not sugar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're fired.
We're making CR hungry.
Sorry, CR. You knew it was going to happen here.
Hey, come on! You're on a channel talking about food. What'd you expect, CR? We're not canning bacon yet, but we're getting there.
It doesn't matter, Mark. Whatever channel I'm on, it always turns to the topic. Always winds up for food, and poor CR is always hungry.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I can't bring that up. Oh well. Danny, my mini me. He's the third grandson. I was the third son in my family, so he's my mini me. I was in watching, and he came in behind me early this morning when I was getting stuff set up, and I had the Facebook Reels going, and it was just intense what has gone on the last several days. So Friday, or was it Saturday? Over by Boise, in Meridian and Eagle and all the other things just west of Boise here in Idaho. In the evening, someone finally posted it, saw what was going to happen and posted it, the storm coming in. And then it hailed feet of hail.
Oh yeah, you told us about that, yeah.
Feet of hail. And then it started raining. And it was still hailing and raining, and the wind looked like a friggin' blizzard. And then out in the street, there's like 18 inches of hail. It looked like an ice dam flow from up in Michigan. That was the middle of the street. And then we were watching several of those, and then Utah popped up. with the Cottonwood fire, 90,000 acres. And then, then the pocket fire down in Arizona popped up, and he spotted that was from Sedona, and he goes, "You showed me that before." And I pulled up the Arizona map, showed him where there's Sedona. And he points at the map. He knew right where it was because there's a train down there and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's been watching stuff that lately, but the fires are insane. Idaho is flooding out. Pennsylvania, northwest Pennsylvania is flooding out. What was the other? There was another state. They're flooding out as well. And then here you got all these other states burning in between. Send us your water. But yeah,
right.
Oh yeah. So I just
aren't cottonwoods those trees that leave those little fuzzies everywhere? And I've seen like quick burns on that where they like throw a match and it just like travels. It doesn't burn anything else. It just travels up the alleyway and then poof, gone.
Yeah, but with what was going on in western Idaho and CR flooding out, and then of course last night, one of the storms that hit over there in Boise hit us, and it was we've had a couple of rainstorms during the night as theirs passes over us. And I've turned off the watering system for the garden. The garden is very saturated.
Well, I'm going to have to be hauling water this week. We've been getting a nice rain every other day, and my plants have been loving it. I planted a lot of trees this spring, and now I'm going to start having to haul water because I don't have the water at my property set up. No electric, so no well. And so I'm going to have to start hauling water to water my trees because we're hitting the hundreds this week. High 90s to over 100.
We're hitting 90 and hundreds here on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, we're supposed to be hitting, get that up here.
And it's supposed to rain, but when it's that hot in Michigan, it doesn't rain.
No, it's a steam bath, and then it's gone.
It's just in the air and gone.
So like when I was in West Virginia back in the 78, we'd watch the rain come down in Morgantown.
But it never hits the ground.
The ground would turn wet. Then all of a sudden you see the steam come off the ground. And in 10 minutes, the ground's dry. The pavement, everything's dry again. And you check the humidity and it's 98 humidity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Happy 4th of July here.
Yeah. We have another thunderstorm coming in Wednesday afternoon and into Wednesday night. But 4th of July here, 80 degrees, sunny. There's going to be a lot of problems this Saturday.
Oh yeah, fireworks and stuff. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So,
we're on a no burn, so.
Around here nobody cares. We could be a no burn. Last night they were already practicing at one of the houses. Was practicing. Everybody's.
The fireworks are still going to go on, but they're just required to have their own water system and.
Yeah. No, not in the neighborhood I live in.
I'll
go out in the street and look on my roof the next day, and there'll be like those red sticks everywhere from bottle rockets and other assorted things they launched.
Yeah. Well, going back, number 10 in the countdown of 25 in there was herb drying, and Tammy talks about that and the mobile dryer.
Right now, in my car, I have red clover drying for tea. I have elderflower drying for tea and tinctures. My car, I have little baggies hanging because the elderflowers all fall out. So I have little mesh baggies with the clover, and I have little tiny fine mesh baggies like you get for little wedding favors in there with the elderflower, all drying from little hooks in my car.
Lots of potatoes. Talk about storing potatoes and apples.
Don't store them together in the same room. The apples will spoil all your other fruits or foods.
Yeah. And let's see here. I miss not that one. Where's the other one here? Hang on.
That's the pie crust.
Yeah. I miss that kitchen stool chair there.
My mom
We
had one.
My
I had
grandmother
one.
had one. My mom had one, and we couldn't find one to get.
No, with the
They
one with the
do
little pull out,
sell
flip
them.
out step. Yeah, the little flip out step. Yep.
Yeah.
They brought them back. They are selling them again. Check on Amazon.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. But I mean, our stoves look like the one that's sitting there that I grew up with in the early '60s. But yeah.
Yeah, we had one of those stools like that, and that was always the high chair. So as soon as
Yep.
you could sit and not be held, you got tied into that stool with a big towel.
Yeah. Underground stuff here. Corn. Drying the corn and shucking the corn. And letting it last longer.
Parching.
Yeah. Sunflowers.
Mhm.
Talking about seed storage. Yeah, it goes on. It goes into some gardening stuff as well. So, yeah, if you guys, So once again, that what the anyone that's coming in, because I've seen the numbers up here going up and down as people come in and out. That is the one that video is pinned at the top. It's 23 and a half minutes. Well worth the watch. And
One that they didn't mention, but I've learned from the Native Americans around here, there's a sweet briar. It's a sweet fern, and they would layer the baskets when they were gathering the fruits and foraging with the sweet briar fern, and it has preservation properties that'll keep things a week longer without refrigeration, like berries that you picked. And I've been using that. I found that locally here, and I've been using that. And that, check other cultures, because, not just, it says American, but a lot of those things were used in Europe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things we could be doing.
No. So, there are a lot of other ways to store your harvest too, without power, without expensive equipment, and all it takes is an underground, either a basement or a cave
Or a bunker.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it, and so yeah. I experiment, folks. Everyone, try experimenting some of these old ways. That's why check out that video, and you can check out their Forgotten American Skills. They probably have some more over there on. I haven't had a chance to do it because I've been dealing with the kids. So, yeah. All right. Before I wrap it up here, yeah. For those that know, my eldest grandson, Eli, who is 11, who looks like he's 15. Had another fit this morning. We had the sheriffs over here this afternoon because he just before 12:35, he went off on my daughter, and the sheriff. We had like 6 sheriffs show up, the ambulance, the fire department. But yeah, they took her to the hospital. She's back. I'm not sure he has a cracked rib or not. They got back just as I was getting ready to start this up. But yeah. And when I went over there this morning when he attacked Megan, and I watched his eyes go from dilated down to normal. And the deputy that came to the corporal that came to set, Corporal Wall came, and Sergeant Johnson, and they both looked at his eyes immediately because they were here way before everybody else showed up, and they said the same thing. They saw his eyes start going down, and we have found out that some of the medications have some nasty side effects, including hallucinations, and I just forgot the D word on the same lines.
Delusions.
Delusion, that type stuff. And then there was another one called, Did I save that? I didn't save the link. Did I save the link? Hang on. Let me take a quick look here. Did I save the link?
So basically, all the meds they put them on that are going to help them or now have side effects. So they'll give them more meds on top of that to offset those side effects. I hope not.
Yeah, but the one of them,
Catch 22.
they doubled his dose, and a couple weeks ago, and that's when he really started going off. And they cut him back last week to back to his original dose. My daughter has some of the pills that are even half of that one, and they're weaning him back off of it, and so the Corporal Wall was very knowledgeable about medications. I didn't ask him how he became so knowledgeable, but I have a suspicion. And he's talking about the same things, and he's listed some of the other ones that they're taking. He goes, you need to get him off those, and so we'll be talking to them about other doctors.
Yeah.
So, but what's so interesting is he mentioned about the pharmaceuticals, and he goes, I can't give you any advice, but I would start checking natural stuff that can do do what these drugs are supposed to do without the side effects.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I haven't had a chance. I was talking about the box I got. I did that short video on the
your electric tiller.
That FedEx totally destroyed the box on. And I've got the videos done. I just haven't time to sit here and do the upload on it. That's why, folks. So the uploads are coming on the videos that I promised off that short I would be doing.
Oh, come on, man. Sleep is for the weak. Plenty of time to sleep when you're 6 feet under.
Yeah. And then yesterday, I'm going to show you something.
Your feet? Why are we looking at your feet? Oh, goody.
If I get to go right. There you go.
You broke your big toe.
You broke your toe.
I broke my big toe.
What did you kick in anger?
It wasn't in anger.
What'd you drop on it?
I didn't drop anything on it.
Oh, okay.
I was walking barefoot in the house, and Danny and Oliver, I went to chase them around playing Monster, and I caught the door jam.
Nice. So your toe was just assessing that nothing in the house had moved. Yes. I did that to my pinky toe one night, barefoot in the kitchen. We were making manicottis, like 100 of them, because we made a ton and freeze them. I had the tray of cooked, ready to go in the freezer to pre-freeze. I turned around and smashed my pinky toe on one of the kids' high chairs. Mm-hmm. And of course, I didn't drop the food. I stumbled over to the thing, put it in there, cried, look at my toe, go back over, got another tray of stuff, turned around, and did it again.
Ow!
My pinky toe was the size of my big toe for like a week. And there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. You go to the hospital. What do? They tape it to the toe next to it. Well, I think I broke both those toes. So what's the point?
Well, that's what you do.
I was going to point out that you need to tape it to the one next to it to help it stay straight, so you don't wind up having to have surgery.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, it broke the ring toe also. So
then you tape both of them to the third toe.
Tongue depressor under it, and you tape around both of those, the tongue depressor, both of those, and then So yeah.
I don't know. My toes are fine. They've always been that way. I don't need surgery. I'm good.
Yeah, CR took off. He had to go be proactive with the weather up there. All right. So coming up, we have tomorrow night on Gray Man Prepping is dealing with family members who refuse to see or listen or use their common sense. So that's the topic for tomorrow night. Thursday night's midnight night. Friday night here on Camp Patton is, I'm doing it again this year, wildfires. Do you have a plan? All right, because if you look at the satellite map, it is insane the amount of fires going on. Saturday on Gray Man Prepping is 4th of July, and the topic is after they come for your pew-pews, what are your plans? Next Monday, we're going to back to canning. It was just kind of neat, because I'll tell you why in a second. But the topic is canning broth. Leave the fat or remove it. One of my friends back in Carolinas, Anthony at Palmetto Prepared, just dropped a video yesterday on making bone broth, and not just bone broth, but bone broth with, he took the bones from his chicken and did that, and added some other stuff he's been saving with freezing, and throw in onions, some other stuff, and
beef stock. Yeah, good beef stock.
Yeah, but it was from the turkey he did, the chicken he did, but yeah. And so he was talking about there's a video out there on him doing it there, the southern United States way.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, what is this? Yeah. All right, folks. So that's what's coming up here, and hopefully I can tonight get one of those videos uploaded. It took me time to get them edited and ready to upload. Hopefully I'll get the unboxing uploaded tonight, and you can see what's going to happen inside that box to that poor rototiller that FedEx chucked out. What did you say it was, the third floor window, Mark?
Yeah, probably.
Third floor window into the truck. It just bent the rototiller tines and just tore the snot out of the inside of that box. Anyways, hopefully I'll get that uploaded tonight. That'll be here on Camp Patton probably in another hour or two. So some of you will be too late to catch it in the morning, but yeah, it should be up tonight. All right, everyone, take care, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow over on Gray Man Prepping. Take care.
Have a good night.